Mrs. Ruel will talk about senior year.
Fun year.
Thank you. Hello. Senior year, my favorite. Students are real busy with essays, teacher recommendations. As Mr. Amaral talked about, the senior interview, they're given forms to get prepped for writing their senior essay and making sure they have teacher recommendation letters and writing a really good resume so that when they ask their teachers for a letter, they know everything they've done as a student. So we edit all of that. English teachers have been fantastic, in particular Ms. Schwidard, Ms. Pereira, Ms. Brittingham. They've actually added the essay to their curriculum, so they have actual copy of the Common Application, which is the application that most colleges are using today. And they are actually going over essays and having them write the essay. The math teachers have been doing some prompt questions at the beginning of their class for the math portion. So it's been a group effort getting this particular group going. So this is my first class of the 4 years, so I'm real happy with this group. Doing it our way, we get to know the students real well, so you build a good rapport, you know what they're going to be good at, you hope where they should apply. Not always are they going to attend a regular college. They go New England Tech, they go to MTTI, and are doing really well in those types of schools. So basically, you can see what we do each and every day. We remind them. Your essay done, your resume done, application's done. Early action, I'm a big proponent for early action. A lot of the students, and I'll tell you some of the acceptances we have already heard. So job number 2 is to get ready for scholarships. I didn't pay for school. 4 years of school were all through scholarships. So I did a lot of work back in the day. It was not computerized, so it was all at the library. And being the first person in my family to go to college, my parents couldn't be of much assistance in that way, but with the support that you get, so it helps you. So I try to be that for my students, as all of us. We're like a little family. So with that said, I'll just list some of the acceptances we've had already: Boston College, Rutgers, Wentworth, Drexel, the Citadel, UVM, UNH, Rick, LaSalle, Newberry, UMass Amherst, UMass Boston, Stonehill. And some of our students are waiting for Wellesley, MIT, the Naval Academy, Harvard, Carnegie Mellon, Brown, Tufts, Columbia, Vassar. Some really, really good schools. Kids have worked really, really hard. Parents work really, really hard. But it's really a fun year. And scholarships are now coming in. There's about 40 town scholarships and then various others. So the Common Scholarship will make them eligible for about 30 different town scholarships. So people will start coming in to read those applications. And that gets to be real exciting too. Any questions?
Through the chair.
Let me start on that.
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
Mr. Sullivan.
I'm sure they want to ask my questions.
Mr. Stewart.
Nope.
Mr. Lack.
Sure.
Nope.
2 questions.
Sure.
What if a student, and this can be towards all 4 of you, a student comes to you and says, I am absolutely positively not going to college. They have either a family business they're going to get into, whatever. What do we do with them? Do you still advise, or are they pretty much put on the shelf and you worry about everybody else?
No.
I'm sure you're not putting them on the shelf.
No,
but
I have 2 or 3 students, they don't feel ready. So the schools like Lincoln Tech, MTTI, I try to encourage them to get at least a certificate, even through Bristol Community College. Try to get them involved with a night class, and also the resume. If you're really going to go to work, then let's build a good resume. And that Mr. Clark in personal finance does a really nice job, so they already have a start with that. So no, they're not shelved, but college isn't for everyone, but they need to know that there are other avenues, other types of schools. And scholarships are also eligible. You're eligible for those too. So.
Second question.
Sure.
What if a student is on a portfolio, not taking the MCAS, not doing any of that, and they're obviously not going to be attending college, traditional college, because there's a program out there to speak to you about. What do you do with those kids that are just...
I actually have a student.
The kids that are in the middle, that are, right in that, they're not going to, they're functioning, but they just don't have any, they're not going to pass MCAS.
Well, Mrs. Medeiros and I have visited Bristol Community College several times, and their Office of Disability is fabulous. And they do have classes that students can take.
Okay.
And so they're involved on the college campus. Actually, there's a senior this year. We're trying to get him involved at Bristol Community College. taxis are available if you're, get the monies. So there are avenues through the community colleges.
Just a quick little tidbit for everyone that's out there. There's a wonderful program at Leslie College called the Threshold Program. If you get a chance to Google it, it's a phenomenal program. They only take 25 students a year, unfortunately, but it's, for all those kids that are on portfolios, it's a great opportunity to go to college, live on campus. And
Oftentimes, parents are afraid. This particular parent's even afraid of the cab to get them to BCC. But I think that's a great idea, and I'll definitely look into it for other students.
Mr. Larrabee?
Yes.
We all encourage all of our seniors to get some sort of additional credential beyond high school, whether that's 2-year school, 4-year school, or hands-on, 1-year program, certificate program. We also have a construction career day every spring, and that's for those students that are usually in that category that don't feel that they want any kind of schooling afterwards. And this field trip, we go to a union facility, training facility in Hopkinton, Massachusetts, and they have the opportunity to see and do hands-on things such as welding, heavy equipment operation, carpentry, hazmat, you name it, they've got it. And they end up getting information that would provide them with information regarding labor unions, where you can get, let's say, become an apprentice, and then you go up the ranks and become a master, get that kind of a hands-on credential. So we try to hit all of the different...
I'm glad to hear that, because I just, with dropout rates, those kids that are automatically saying, hey, I'm not going to go to college, they see you all working with the students that they're already not liking because they're college bound, this and that, and they feel like they're left out. That's wonderful to keep kids engaged in school and say, I do have a purpose here and I can still do something.
Last year, I also organized a CNA program with Coastal Career Academy, so 12 students got their CNA license.
I remember we heard this last year, I believe, at one of our school committee meetings.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, we're trying to do that again because at least they'll graduate with some sort of certification and can get a
Start
job.
to work, right?
Good.
Put them to work.
I just have one quick...
Oh, she has her hand up, I'm sorry.
Oh.
We're going to go forward.
From speaking with you last year about the high-risk students in the Project Action Program, just to speak to what Mr. Amaral was stating, we still do offer the field trips to the Career Center for a lot of the students who can then explore what their interests are, and it also gives them a reason to stay in school, to continue to work towards some of those classes or choose the schedule of their liking that's going to best prepare them to move on in the career course. We also do BCC, where we go and we actually take the students with the need for disability support, and we actually meet in a roundtable setting with the Office of Disability Support and talk about what opportunities are available, supportive opportunities. So,
Is that happening as early as freshman year, or are we talking junior, senior year?
it's usually, well, we have, I would say more sophomore.
Taken a couple.
Sophomore.
If it's
Yeah.
a repeat sophomore
Right.
and they're a little bit older, then we do, just to kind of get them
And
enthusiastic
I assume that
making the connection.
those kinds of ideas are tied in with the monitoring at-risk students who are at risk to
Yes.
drop out.
But it doesn't just have to be the Project Action students that can go. Sometimes we will pull from other students that teachers have expressed,
Right.
are you doing the field trip again? This would be a great kid to just jump on it. Sometimes kids just have a little pre-college anxiety, and the more you can get them on campus and the more you can get them familiar with their local community college, the more comfortable they are.
Great job.
Thank you. I see the one line here, consider taking the ASVAB. Is there anything else that goes along with the military? Do you have recruiters come on campus?
Yes, Mr. Amaral arranges recruiters and any admission counselors that call to come, and they set up in the cafeteria for the 3 lunches.
Do you-
They even take the test here.
Yes, they take the ASVAB here,
Do we, off the top of our heads, have any idea how many kids generally, seniors, graduate and go into the military? I don't remember seeing that
Maybe,
information.
I don't know, 3,
2 or 3 a